Hello, everyone. How are you all today? How's it going, everyone? I hope everyone's having a good lunch. I tried to get on a little earlier, but I had an issue, so we fixed it now. So, who's here? Who's in the comments? I'd like to know who I'm talking to, and I want to know how you guys are all doing on this fine. What is today? What, Thursday? Say Thursday? Yeah, today's Thursday. Okay. I'm going to be on the radio tonight. I'm going to be on, hold on, let me pull up the, I'll be on with Michelle and Amelia, 107.7 FM and 105.3 FM in New Orleans. So Bourbon Street. Get ready for it tonight. I'm also going to be on. It's going to be streamed everywhere. So yeah, but that's at like 9 o'clock tonight. So that's a little late for some of you, but not for the West Coast. If you guys want to come hang. So I don't think I'm going to be on very long today, but I do want to talk to you guys for a little bit. Um, I don't see any comments yet. That's a little strange. Let me see if everything's working. Oh, there it is. TB, love from the UK. Thank you, TB. You're new. How did you find me? And I'm sorry that Ellen DeGeneres just moved to your neighborhood. I apologize for that. But that wasn't my choice. Um, so, we'll share that in a little bit. I'm just going to let people keep coming into the room. How is everybody? Come on, guys. Comments. Don't really have anything to show you as far as work's done because I'm still in the middle of reading a bunch of stuff. But I am here if you guys just want to chill. I think everybody's got about 17 minutes. Rita girl, it's snowing. Rita, where are you that it's snowing? Are you in the north? I'm in Florida, but I'm from New York, so it would be there at that time, wouldn't it? I think. Um, Let me see. Rita, by the way, I'm just checking the email that we're going back and forth with. I sent you my explanation of God, my video that I made. Have you watched it? And if so, let me know what you think. I really do like that email you sent me. You're in Milwaukee. I get a lot of Wisconsin people too for some reason. Well, yeah, it gets cold there. Green Bay, that area. Oh, Jesus, like 30 below, 20 below. Like I can't understand why people live in that cold. The older I get, I watched it and took notes to get back to you. Okay, did it make sense to you though, Rita? That video. Annie's here from Asheville, North Carolina. Oh God, Annie, how are you? How's the recovery over there? What's going on with FEMA? What's going on with everything going on in Asheville right now? Um, please let me know. Kim is here. Kim is always here. Hi, Kim. Nice to see you. It's nice to have you all here, to be honest with you. I have a lot of fun talking with you guys. Rita says, yes, it did. Good. Good. I don't know. So I got a bunch of people in this room right now. So I just want to talk about my first book, Into the Rabbit Hole, Beneath the Veil. You can get it on Amazon for like $16, no matter where you are. And I want to start talking about the stuff in here that I'm allowed to talk about, because in my book series, there's a lot of stuff that would get me canned from YouTube if I brought up. But this is the intro to everything. This is how you begin to understand what's going on in the world for the last 13 years. So if you could pick up Beneath the Veil, I would appreciate it, everyone. And that's it, pretty much. So, love having you guys here. I'm fine. Yes, still a mess. Lots of bodies yet to be found. Don't trust FEMA. Many such cases, yeah. Rita has the first book. Rita, have you started it yet? Tell me what you think. Cool, on the Nook. I'll get it today. Yeah. I have you can get it digital, you can get it physical. You can get the first two audio. Believe me, we're working on. I gotta call my publicist. Not my publicist. I do have to call my publicist, but I have to call my publisher of my books to tell them to try and kick Audible directly square between the nuts to try and get the rest out there, because I know a lot of people are just listening to books these days, and this information has to get out there. Book. Well, thank you. No, I'm a bad reader. Prefer vids. To each his own. Okay. At least you're honest, but that's fine. So let me give you guys my website. Got a PH call I got to take. I'll be back. All right, Annie, I'll see you soon. My website is Debunk My Work. On my website is all my social media, my YouTube, my Rumble, my book series, links to buy the books, all my astrotheology videos, all of them. You can literally go to my website, scroll, and you'll be like, I want to learn about the Egyptian Book of the Dead today. Boom, it's right there. I want to learn about the Quran. Boom, it's there. I want to learn about each individual book in the Bible. They're all there on the website. And in case YouTube ever gets taken down, I've included the hyperlink for Rumble, so my information is there. Yeah, Rita, get the first two on Audible, and a lot of them are free too. If you have Audible, definitely get it. It's a different type of learning experience, and you'll see why I did what I did, why I did. You'll get that. Oh, and on my website, there's a way to email me at the bottom too. But everything you ever need is on my website to share with people. Please get it out there. Was going in deep rabbit holes, learn all kinds of stuff, then searched, is Jesus the Son? Then found out about astrotheology, and your work came up. Well, at least that's starting to happen now, thank God. Have you watched my long video, TB, by any chance? Go to my website, debunkmywork.com, and watch the very first video on that website. Watch the very first video. And then come back to me tomorrow or the next day and let me know what you think. You know what, Rita? Just for you, I'm going to work on getting the other 6 books on Audible. You know what? I'm emailing my... Give me a sec. All right, I just emailed them, so that's done. Thanks, I am a multitasker. Okay. Yeah, I've been here a year, just haven't commented many such cases. Well, thank you for being vocal today. It's nice to know that you're in the room. Very happy that you are. Excuse me. Ew. Excuse me. Can you define Elohim? I understand more than one, but who are they? Okay. El is Saturn. Ohim in Hebrew is putting an S at the end of the letter, at the end of the word, making it plural. So it's multiple Saturns, but what they're trying to tell you, the Elohim are the 7 planets they knew about at the time. And the sun and the moon were one of them, each. So that's Elohim. You have El, Saturn, Ohim, plural. It's the planets. That's what they're trying to tell you. What's up, buddy? Finally caught alive this week. Big swing in D. I always laugh every time I see that, but we talk all the time, and I'm glad you're here. Thank you. Do any of you guys have any questions besides the Elohim? Let's see if we could demystify some of the shit that people are taking literally. I'll give it a little for some comments to come in. But so now that we got more people in here, we're going to be talking about my first book, Into the Rabbit Hole Beneath the Veil. You can get it on Audible. You can get it on your Kindle or your Nook or whatever. You can get a paperback. Paperback is $16 and the rest are even cheaper. I'm trying to make a case for my writing. And by that, I'm asking you guys to take a leap of faith and read the first book. Now, if you don't like the way that I write, then you don't have to read any more. That's fine. But I write books that I find interesting. And you will find it interesting too. Have you found out what your past life was like? I know some of it. Now, there's past lives. I have found some of it. But I do need a regression session. And I'm in Tampa right now, and the best person that does this is in Miami, and that's like 5 hours down. So we really need to make a plan for that. But I do need to go under and find out why I am able to do the things that I'm able to do. Because that I don't understand. The way my mind works. It's confusing sometimes. How I'm able to make connections like that. But yes, I do need to get that done, so thank you for the reminder. I do appreciate that. What's going on in the world that you guys want to talk about? What's going on in the news? Let's see if we can't talk about what's really going on in the world or in religion or anything. Whatever you guys want to talk about, this is your forum. I was just watching a video about Dr. Amon Hillman. Many people ask me about him, and I have not gotten into him yet. I am so busy that it is to the point where I cannot find new people to look into because I just have so much going on aside from that. What does Amon Hillman talk about, if you don't mind me asking? Reading your first book rekindled my passion for reading. Your style of writing flows and is easily digestible. On book 3, looking forward to the rest of the series. Thank you, Big Swingin' D. I appreciate that. And you're a pretty smart dude. We talk all the time. You're a very intelligent dude. So if I'm trying to slip bullshit to people, you'd be the first one to tell people. But no, you actually enjoy my style of writing. It's very much the way that I talk in a lot of ways. It's like 1984 George Orwell mixed with Da Vinci Code with young wise ass kids. It's fun. These are fun reads, but God, they're full of information, right, D? I'm sure you've learned a lot through reading them, haven't you? that Jesus was a child trafficker according to Greek texts. You know, they'll call Jesus anything in the world. They'll call Jesus anything in the world, these ancient Greek texts, everything. But Rita, if you go to my website, you'll find that they're all astrotheology books, encoded. And you go to my website and you can read, you can go to any book. You have any questions, like you're not sure about something in Leviticus, it's right there. You're not sure about anything in the book of Matthew. I break it down extraordinarily deep, the book of Matthew, by the way. And it's fantastic. Jake Paul versus Tyson took place on a full moon in Taurus. It's so interesting to see how this knowledge of astrology is used so commonly when you learn it. It's the key to the universe. It's the oldest science, and it's the most prevalent science in all these ancient texts. Of course it is. It's the most important thing. Ever since these ancients, the Neanderthals, were just looking up at the sky, and eventually they evolved to be able to explain stories about what happened. And people are taking these literally, and we're careening towards World War III because people are fucking stupid. And I'm just trying to wake the world up. And I can do that with help from you guys. And if you're here listening to me, then you obviously, something resonates from what I say to you guys. So please just share the works. Just keep sharing the works. Absolutely. In fact, the Jake Paul Tyson, I think, was a supermoon. Okay, I've never seen this person before. As a 24-year-old, I'm very, you're 24 and you have access to this? I didn't even discover this until I was 29. Wow. I'm very familiar with a lot of the material you covered. This information is so valuable, whether it comes religious misinformation, holistic healing, Jesuit order. What advice do you give to someone looking to monetize the information they have accumulated? Also, Paul vs. Tyson fight was a 33rd degree Mason ritual. Father Time reference at 33 seconds. Assless chaps, humiliation ritual. The world is a stage and the people need to wake up. Eventually, you're 24 and you have a great grasp of knowledge way ahead of most people. That is not a 33rd degree Mason ritual. For everything that is being taught, the Masons are not actually evil. The people in the Blue Lodges, at least. I can't speak for the higher councils, to be honest, but I can tell you this. They are not evil. In fact, I've spoken to many people. In fact, one of my good friends used to be a teacher on Gaia Network. And we talk, and the Masons have kept the information, but they're not out there doing evil. But I can't speak for individuals. I don't even know what to call you. Signal SG. I'll call you SG. SG. Monetize the information they have accumulated. I mean, I have a book series. You can buy it or you don't have to. I have flash drives that have, let me just remove this because this is a big thing. I have a flash drive that has all my decodings and my 8 digital books too. You offer people the information. If they want it, they want it. When they're ready, they're ready. If they don't, they don't. But I am going to, on this channel, start talking about my first book eventually. I'm not going to lie. I narrate the book as your voice in my head. That's what you should do because I wrote it. But yes, that's how I talk. That's how it is. It's fun. You'll laugh a lot. There's a lot of jokes. There's a lot of humor in it. And there's a lot of info. One of them is a physicist. One of them is a hacker. One of them is from Mensa. One of them, I mean, there's just all sorts. And then I just throw all this information out there about it. Books are no BS. Full of great info. I specifically enjoy the bashing of the Jesuits. Yes, well, that's book 1. That's book 1. Absolutely. So you'll learn all about that. Absolutely. Kim says, "Have you heard of the bifurcation of people with this awakening? Can you break that sentence down a little bit more? What exactly do you mean? What like simplify that? What do you mean by that exactly? With what awakening exactly? And where are you going with that? So please just rephrase that. And we'll get into it for sure." So how's everybody else doing? All the new people in the room, how are you all doing? Do you guys have any questions? Feel free to ask. Any questions, guys? I just joined as you said that. PP? As I said, what? Rita says, "Speaking of full moons, I was talking to my friend about parasite cleanses, and she said to always start on a full moon when they become active. That's why the crazy comes out." That's a very interesting thing. Absolutely. Listen, Christian parents will keep their children in the house during a full moon because they know shit goes on. But yet astrology is evil, right? You need to understand that these have effects on you. Um, in Italy, when you make wine, you transfer them from container to container. But when you transfer it from the first container to the second container, you only do it under a full moon. Why? Because it changes the taste, believe it or not. You have to understand these cycles and you have to understand what's going on. People are just clueless. They think that just anger comes out of nowhere. No, things happen. Things affect things. And it's your job as a human on this planet to understand this planet. DG Belcher 67. Hi, Micah. Is it true that most American presidents are sworn in during the lunar eclipse? No, I haven't heard that. It's always January 20th, and it will always be different. It will always be different. Yeah. Remember, the lunar cycle is 13 times 28. 13 cycles at 28 days, with 1 day for the new year. That's the true clock. The fact that we start our new year in January in the winter is idiotic. The ancients, the Egyptians used to start it in Virgo, the wheat harvest. The Jews and everybody else, Aries, during the spring season when things come back to life. That's the beginning of the year when things come back. Not January 1st. Jesse's here. And Micah and everyone, I'm trying to comprehend why we are here. Jesse, we are here for two reasons: to find our gift and to give it away. That's Picasso. That's what we're trying to do. That's the point of everything. We each have a gift that we excel at. Some of us never find it. Some of us never look for it. Some of us get stuck in the matrix. Go to school, go to college, date someone, get a job, get married, have children, work till you're 65, go on Social Security, die. That's the most of the population. That's how they do it. Most people never put themselves out there with what they find, if they find anything. And I think we have a general, as we move towards the age of Aquarius, we have a general need and a want and just a spiritual yearning for understanding what's going on. And I'm trying to teach these holy texts with what I figured out. It's always good to see you, Jesse, my man. I love doing your show. You're a great dude. So blessings to you and your girl. And I hope things are going really well with you. I do. I do not, however, envy the fact that it's winter and you live in Canada. You can have that. That's yours. I'm in Florida. Took me 41 years, but I'm in Florida. TB says, thank you for your work. I was lost and anxious, but your work connected the dots, removed fear, made sense, and made me realize I wasn't going crazy. Have you read my books, TB? Did I ask that before? I'm sorry. My mind's a little wandery today. Have you read my books? Because that is where you're going to take what I've showed so far even deeper. What do you think about how Christians take Jesus literally and how saying the name of Jesus stops demonic attacks? They use that as literal evidence, but isn't it spiritual power and manifestation? It is spiritual power and manifest. But let me ask you this question. I've already explained to you guys that Jesus, the face of Christ that we see everywhere, is Caesar Borgia. And there is plenty of evidence to back that up. Please don't just believe me. Go to a search engine and find it. But yet when people have near-death experiences, that's who they see because it's an archetype. It's the Christ archetype. It's the Christ archetype. And stop demonic attacks because the mind can do things like that. The mind does stuff. I'm trying to think of the best way and the simplest way to explain this. Like an exorcism, for example, right? Well, angels and demons do exist. Positive and negative interdimensional entities do exist. The Bible is trying to anthropomorphize them in a way for you to understand if you know what you're reading. I'd have to look at a lot of the Vatican's research into possession and all that kind of stuff. But we know that Jesus is astrotheological. We know that he doesn't exist in the flesh, that every single ancient, holy thing from the past, hold on, every single ancient holy deity from the past was the sun. We know this. Horus, Osiris. It goes back even further. We know this. Christianity is the one that tried to make him a real person. It's still the sun. It has always been the sun. Without the sun, the light of the world, the risen Savior, God's only begotten Son, without that, we'd be dead in 9 minutes. It gives life. It is the manifestation of what we consider God physically on earth. Consider the sun God. It gives life. When it gets warm, things grow because of the sun. It warms you up. It keeps you alive. And it's your savior. Thanks. I give my time for our show freely. All right, Jesse. Yes, sir. Some people choose not to not acknowledge the info from hearing info that they would label false just to keep in their same thought process because I think it makes them feel safe. Kim, it's more than that. The reason that you get such pushback from everybody is because religion has monopolized and perverted it preys on the human natural instinct to fear death. And it gives you a story and a way to cheat death. All these religions do. And it's not correct. So when you show them something logically, their brain rewires or shuts down. If people are like, when people come to me and they're fresh out of the church, they're like, I never believed in this, but this sounds more realistic. This makes sense to me. That's one thing. But other people will completely shut down because they are told that everything that is not that is evil. And religion gives you an answer to what happens after you die. Because once you're self-conscious and you're aware on this planet, you don't want to not exist ever again. You don't want to, you know what I mean? So that's what they monopolize on. Isn't Jesus not even the literal name? Well, no, Jesus is not the literal name. In the Bible, they say we will call him Emmanuel. Emmanuel. Then they call him Yeshua in the Bible. And people keep calling him Yeshua. Christians call him Yeshua. Right? The Jewish name. The Christians. Christianity is just LARPing Jews. That's all it is. Yeshua in Hebrew. I'll put it to you this way. Hold on. Yeshua. Y-E makes the J sound. J doesn't exist. J didn't exist until the year 1524. The letter J came out in 1524. The Jesuits changed everything in 1534. The King James Bible came out in 1611. Yonatan, Yaakov, in Hebrew, is Jonathan and Jacob. So Yeshua would translate to Joshua, not Christ, not Jesus. So Jesus is not his even literal name. That is correct. Which part of Florida? I was in the Keys in September. I'm in Tampa. Did you have fun down there, Jesse? Oh my God. Let me find out you drove there. Tell me you didn't drive there, Jesse. The moon is sin. Those who worship it are sinners. Mount Sinai. Temperature is colder on the moonlight than in its shadow. Negative energy. That's good information there. That's true. The moon is sin. The ancient moon is sin. Mount Sinai that you mentioned, but you didn't explain further. Sin means moon. AI in Sumerian means, so sin means moon, and or moon god, and AI means mountain. So it's the mountain of the moon god. Why? Because when the ancients went to this volcano or this mountain, they saw this moon coming up behind it. That's where they thought it came from. Shari. Hello, Micah and all. I think words can be imbued with power, therefore the word Jesus is powerful. Thoughts manifest, correct. That's why it's called spelling, because you're casting spells. Absolutely. Hecto. What is Saturn, and why do the evil people worship Saturn? David Icke said the ring is even artificially constructed. When you listen to satellite recordings from Saturn, a very creepy sound. In the ancient days, remember, they didn't know Neptune, they didn't know Uranus, and they didn't know Pluto. So the 7 planets were the other ones, including the sun and the moon. Saturn was the furthest that they could see. And that's why it was worshipped, because it was the furthest. And at its core, the Jews are a Saturn-based cult. That's why they wear the tefillin, which is the black cube, which is Saturn, the black cube, because on the top of Saturn, there's a hexagram, and there's a storm system, and the cube is in the middle of it. So it's the black cube. The ancient, they used to tell you have to wear earrings, right? Earrings, because the ancients would tell women that they had to listen to their god. Their god was Saturn, so they got rings in their ears for Saturn with the rings. That's why men wear wedding rings, because you had to pledge your fidelity in front of the god. Saturn, L. That's why you have Michael, Rachel, Raphael. I could go on. There's an L at the end of everything. That's the god. That's Saturn. The Bible says we're all sons of God and equal to Yeshua. Yeshua in the Bible says we could do more miracle than he did, which is correct. Everything, the kingdom of heaven, everything is inside you. Kundalini experiences, just mystical travels, everything is within you. Your pineal gland, your source, your connection to God, everything is there. And this isn't new age stuff. For example, Genesis 32:30, and Jacob called the name of the place Peniel, for he saw God face to face, and my life was spared. But Peniel is pineal. They knew this back in the day. The eye of Horus. The eye of Horus, if you take a brain and you sagittally cut it, what that means is you cut it down the line and then you open it like this. In the middle of it, you'll see the eye of Horus. That's the pineal gland. The ancients knew this. So all the magic and all the power is within us. And what religion does is they teach you to suppress that. I agree. It's the power in us. Like the Bible says, God is within you. Exactly. God hid himself in the last place most people would look. Hey, Jamie. Je suis is French for I am, I know. The invented word of Jesus is a clue to the I am. Expand on that thought. I get it. They don't want anyone to recognize the power behind the moon. Yes, we drove from Alberta, which is above Montana. We went to a recording studio in Nashville, then my buddy's house on the ocean in the Keys. He lives there now. So we'll be visiting. Jesse, the Keys are all the way at the bottom of Florida. But if you're ever driving through Florida and you come through Tampa, spend a night. Let's get together. Let's hang out. Everyone on earth is Yeshua. Jamie, that's true. That's a lot of wisdom there too. I can do miracles, and yet I can't stop the world from being the slave world. I don't get it. Do I just focus on my own life and the slave world will get solved through that? Focus on yourself. Because when you heal yourself and you fix yourself, you attract other beings with that frequency. Naturally. Focus on yourself. Some of us write books. Some of us do lives. Some of us are public. Some of us are not. But it's the 20% rule. The idea that when a new idea comes out and it's very popular, it doesn't have to reach 100% of the people. It doesn't. You don't have to convince everyone. What you have to do is reach 20% of the people. Once you hit 20% of the people, it takes off exponentially on its own. And there's been studies. It's called the 20% rule. So just keep sharing your light. Keep attracting people around you that have similar thought patterns. And then figure out something to do. Maybe do a local event or something. And hand out flyers and have people come around. Just little things like that. Since God is within us, the devil is with us too. It's the duality on earth of good and evil. Understand this, guys. Evil will never go away on earth. It won't. Because what evil does is it reflects the duality of good. Because if everybody was good, we wouldn't have any understanding of good. The only reason on this dimension that we understand things is because of that. Is because you basically have to choose love over fear. And I know it's been said by many, like Eckhart Tolle and all of them before, but it's true. You choose love in every situation, and that's how you raise your chrism. That's liberating. Thank you. For me, the I am can be experienced. It's the deep recognition of self-creating reality through thought. It's the fractal recognition of our godhood. I think you mean Godhead. Or maybe Godhood. No, that makes sense. I am is the only thing that can explain our Creator. I am. Everything else is within creation. So everything else is within creation. When you say when God calls himself I am in the Bible, Moses in the burning bush, right? God says, where are you? And Moses says, here I am. And a lot of people are like, oh, here I am. I'm right here. And he's like, good, let's start talking about this. No. It's here, ... New sentence, I am. He's addressing God as I am. Why is God I am? Because I am is the only thing that can explain God in this dimension. I exist is what it's saying. I am. I exist. That's all you need to know. I exist. That's all you need to know. That's why I am is so powerful. You need the darkness to see the light duality. In fact, I'll go further, Hector. You're not going to have a spiritual or a real experience unless you've suffered the dark night of the soul. It's kind of like how the most peaceful people on earth were at one point the most violent. It's the same thing. They reflect each other. You need the darkness to see the light duality is correct. Choose love over fear. That is beautiful, but that's what it is. And that's what I've been telling you, Jamie. Stop attacking people for this unless they come at you and don't stop. Then you destroy them with information. But just in general, lovingly sharing information, that's what attracts people. I am that I am. The Missing Link live, and I just thought the other day, Popeye could be the third eye. I am that I am, yeah. That makes sense. And olive oil would be the holy, right? That's her name, olive oil. Well, olive oil is the sacred oil from the Bible. You have Popeye and olive oil. Next time I'll be probably flying into Tampa and stay with Dr. John Scott Perez for a few days and maybe with you for a day or two, but finding a way through its keys. Listen, I'll meet up with you anywhere, Jess. Let me know. Keep me posted. When speaking, be mindful of the words you choose, often saying I am. Correct. Nice one, Mike. I didn't catch that. It's all there. It's the same thing with Pinocchio, right? Pineal gland, and occhio in Italian is eye. Pineal eye, the third eye. It's the same thing. They all break down this way. They're all telling the same story. Guys, the hero's journey of the sun going through the zodiac is pretty much the only story that's ever been told. And they don't want you to know that story. And that's the story that I teach. Whether it's in my books, Beneath the Veil, which we'll go over at some point soon, or just in general. Absolutely. So like I was saying, now that I got a ton of people in here, guys, please pick up my first book, Into the Rabbit Hole, Beneath the Veil. I don't care if it's audio. I don't care if it's on your tablet. Or I don't care if it's the physical book. If you guys are interested in the signed book series, you can email me. I'll put the email down here. Hold on. Yeah, I just put my email down there. If you guys want the book series or a signed copy of the first book, all you got to do is email me and we'll go over this. Hecto says, I'm glad I found you and I'm happy for the book series ride. Have you picked up book one, Hecto? Etymology is so important and rarely taught. Etymology is incredibly important and rarely taught. The root of the word. You see people freaking out about this? You see people freaking out about this? About this? This can all be explained. The root of all of it is where the power lies. They just try and confuse you. That's what they're trying to do, is confuse you. And on my website, debunkmywork.com, I have a video on the Illuminati symbols. I go over all of them and I break them down. And I go, guys, there's nothing to fear about these things. Stop freaking out and making like pages and pages of like celebrities doing this. And you have like 500 of them doing nonsense. Stop worrying about that. When I catch you live, I always have a 5-star day. I'm the creator. Jamie, you're starting to get it, my friend. Who did the audio version and is it on Audible? It is. My first 2 books are on Audible. I just, about 20 minutes ago on this channel, I emailed my book publishers and I told them to kick Audible in the balls and let's get the ball rolling, because a lot of people don't have time to read anymore. And I get that. I get frustrated because only the first 2 books are out. My second book was audio read by Bronson Pinchot, who is Balky from Perfect Strangers. And I had conversations with him about my characters and the character development and everything, and he did a great job on it. I will give him the rest of the series if they pick it up. Wondering what you think about the idea that Freemasonic rituals are virtually identical to magic. Magic with a K? Was that done on purpose, or magic with a C? Awesome. I will be listening. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Got a great group of people here. You guys are wonderful. You guys are great. Listen, I'm just some Long Island dude that figured some shit out, okay? And my goal is to make sure that you all know what I know. That's it. That's it. If you want to support me with the flash drive for the book series, I appreciate that, and I will write you a nice note and sign all of them. But if you just want to get it on Audible and you just want to listen, you don't even want to comment in the group, I appreciate you just being here and listening, because we need to raise the collective consciousness, guys. Magic with a K is in ceremonial magic, altar, candles, etc. What Masonry is it's a compendium of light rituals. Masonry is not evil. I promise you it's not. I can't speak in behalf for all of them, just like I can't say that there are no Jews that are assholes. There are no Christians that are no assholes. There are no Rosicrucians that are no assholes. There's assholes in every group. Absolutely. That doesn't get rid of the origin of what it is. And Masonry has been the least infiltrated out of all of them, and it's kept a lot of it. Now, order and ritual is important. Order and ritual is important for them. So let me see what else we got here. What's some strange encounters you had when learning this work, both spiritual and physical in person? When I discovered astrotheology, I went into a hospital for 3 weeks because it broke everything that I ever knew. And a lot of people have dark nights of the soul like that, a breakdown. And while I was in the hospital, I wrote my first book. And you know the little blue books that, like, when you're in high school and college, they give it to you to, like, write your essays so that, yeah. A ton of them. And then I just put it together. I wrote it, and then it took me years to get a book deal, but I eventually did. Things open up much more easily. I get downloads better. Yeah, I stopped taking fluoride. By taking fluoride, I didn't actually physically take fluoride, but I stopped drinking tap water. I stopped with toothpaste. use baking soda or use Tom's or use something else that doesn't have fluoride in it. But a lot of just you see the light in everything, TV. When you start to understand how the world is structured, you see the light in it. Propaganda no longer works on you when you understand the truth. That's why it's so important for me to get this out. Is the black cube in Mecca where Muslims are pilgriming to Saturn's cube? Yeah. So is the black cube that the Jews wear on their forehead. It's Saturn. It's Saturn worship. Assholes are everywhere and they all stink. Correct, Bob White. I like masonry. Just can't help seeing all these connections. Thank you for all you do. We'll be getting the ebook soon. Thank you, Merlin. Thank you, Merlin. Your vibe attracts your tribe. Well said, Jesse. It's true. It's absolutely true. Stop trying to fit in with other people. Everybody always wants to fit in or be a part of the popular group or this and that. People that stand out are the ones that get the raw and the real people who are looking for answers. Do you work with your spirit guides, Micah? I do not. I keep them at bay because I could just go off and have a life like a monk in a monastery. Interestingly enough, guys, you want to hear something about monks? They did a study. Someone did a study on this where they went to a bunch of Buddhist temples where these monks were. And they asked them all, why do you stay here? And you know what the craziest thing is? 50% of the answers said, I do not trust myself to make good decisions outside of here. And it's the same thing with religion. You ever notice how it's always the people converting to Christianity or born again Christianity or the people that couldn't get their shit together in this life? You ever notice that? These are people who need to be told what to do. Your vibe attracts your tribe. I never heard that before. Wonderful. Some use hydrogen peroxide for oral care and never need a dentist. Oil pulling with coconut oil, amazing too. Absolutely. Is there a moment you can pinpoint as to when your third eye reopened? Well, there's things that you guys have to do. You have to get off fluoride completely. Just get off fluoride. Like, just avoid tap water. I mean, you could drink tap water if you have a reverse osmosis filter. I think Alex Jones used to sell them. You can get them on Amazon for like $275. You need a plumber to install it, but that removes all the toxins, the neurotoxins from the water and all the medication as well. In the hospital, I believe, you just, it feels warm and fuzzy and it feels like it's vibrating. Or when I'm writing my books and I'm thinking about what comes next to say, it just pours in and I feel it coming in from the top. Get a candle, a non-scented 1-wick candle. Okay? Important for both of those. Because if you get a scented candle, it's going to fuck with your olfactory senses. You're not going to be able to concentrate. If you get more than 1 wick, you're not going to be able to concentrate on all of them. Non-scented 1-wick candle. Light it every night before you go to bed and stare at it for half an hour. It will clear you completely. Absolutely. Sheeple. Rita, exactly. I hate that word though, Rita. But you're right. They are not that hard to install yourself. RO filter. All right, Bob. Well, thank you. I would just want to make sure that it was done the right way. But I guess if you could, yeah. What book helped you the most with your journey? The first book I ever read that helped me with my journey was given to me by my mom. Let me see if I have it here. I do. Jamie, it's this one. Dan Millman, The Way of the Peaceful Warrior. Pick it up and read it. Trust me. This is an outrageously incredible book. Spiritual sage shit. First book I ever read, and it opens your mind to every possibility. So get that book, Jamie, and everyone else. I have a distiller, and the sludge at the bottom of every gallon is disgusting. It is. Absolutely. Well, good for you, Rita. Rita, I love that you're in this chat now. You have some really good info, and I like your comments a lot. I think, did you find me through Ariel? Because if you did, I'm just glad that you're here. I was thinking maybe you're the one to write an encyclopedia on astrotheology. It can contain all the theories from history organized alphabetically. I would love a copy of that. I'm toying. I have to write my 9th book in this series, by the way. This is the first. I have to write my 9th book. When I'm done with that, I may write a book showing the astrotheology in the Bible, just breaking it all down. And I've considered that, Merlin, so I'll keep that on the back burner. Candles staring, sink, never tried, now will. It'll decalcify your pineal gland. They want you calcified. They want you in the matrix. Break out of it. Is it in Germany fluoridated the tap water too? Heck no, that's actually the first person that did that. Hitler was the first person that fluoridated the water to make people docile, to make them calm. Showering in fluoride water gets absorbed in skin, and by virtually any drink will be made with tap water, so hard to avoid it. But you can fight it, Jesse. In fact, RFK Jr. in America is fighting to have the fluoride removed. So I'm hopeful for that. You're welcome, Jamie. Oh, Leak Project. Okay, with Rex. Yeah. Thanks, Rita. I've explained astrology to Catholics who take the Bible of Jesus literally. How Roman Catechism 2116 says not to look at astrology. Vatican churches have this explained better. You just did a great job doing it right there. In the Vatican, there is something called the Stufetto de Bibbiena. That's where the papal bath is. It was created in 1516 by Raphael, the artist. That Raphael. And on it, there was Greek mythological figures on it. The zodiac is there. Everything is there. In Megiddo, which is where Armageddon gets its name and where the last battle is going to end, there's a church, a 3rd century. Well, basically what happened is there's a church, right, in Israel, in Megiddo, and some dude like put his foot through it, the floor, because it was old, and they looked in and they found there was a church. It was built on another church. So they dug down and they excavated this church. And this church is from the 200s. The 200s, this church is from. And in the center of it, there's a mosaic. And we even know who commissioned this mosaic. But in the center of this church is a mosaic of the 2 fish Pisces. It's everywhere, and they tell you not to look at it. Manly P. Hall is an amazing source of info too. Have listened to many of his podcasts, incredible knowledge. Manly P. Hall was a wonderful person. Absolutely. How does staring at a candle decalcify your pineal gland? For example, it's going to lower your body. It's going to, first of all, it's going to lower your circadian rhythm. It's going to make you take deeper breaths. It's going to make you focus. It's the same way as hypnosis works, basically. You're self-hypnotizing is what you're doing. But it helps doing that. The exact scientific method by which it does that, I can only speak from experience from doing that and from what I've experienced personally. I'm not familiar with the exact science behind it. I just know ways that you can decalcify your pineal gland. Do they have shower filters for fluoride removal? Mercury fillings is also a concern. The pineal gland is your seat to God. I'll give you an example. If you were to go to bed, and again, first of all, you have to cut alcohol out of your life because alcohol is a poison. Cut alcohol out of your life. Your life will be so noticeably better. I promise you, no matter who you are or what you do, cut alcohol out of your life. Hold on. Do they have shower filters for fluoride removal? I'm going to start looking into that. I don't believe so. Maybe. Yes, they don't agree and won't investigate it. Astrology debunks the literal Bible belief and their religion. The Vatican puts the truth right in their faces. Absolutely. I know there are rods and cones in your pineal gland like eyes, so maybe similar body tech. It's your third eye, absolutely. In reptiles, it's an actual eye, and it has a cornea and a lens. Your pineal gland is tied directly into your visual cortex. So after being dumbed down for hundreds and thousands of years, I take turmeric a tablespoon every day. It helps the pineal gland too. There's pills you can take too. Turmeric pills, absolutely. So anyway, guys, I've been here about an hour. I might come back a little bit later. Into the Rabbit Hole Beneath the Veil. If you guys could just pick up book 1, I would love this entire group to be in the room when we start talking about the information. Cut out alcohol, no way. That's how I met all my girlfriends, even made look more beautiful. Up to you. I'm just telling you what works for me. But guys, thank you so much for being here. And I will try and do this again later today or tomorrow.